During a county council hearing on August 2nd, a highly controversial topic was back on the floor, Honolua Bay. By the end, the council voted against taking Lapua Point into preservation.
This behind me is Lapua Point as we know it right now, tip of Honolua Bay, one of the world's most famous surf and snorkel spots, and right now also heavily fought over. Maui Land and Pineapple Company was before the council to speak about land use. The main issue for Maui Land and Pine was the value of the land they own in Honolua Bay. If the land is in preservation, the value drops. The company needs collateral for the pension plans of their 1,600 workers.
We need to provide $39 million worth of collateral to the PBGC for the pensioners, and so that's what we're working on. Designating these lands, preservation, including Lapua Point lands, is going to devalue our property and hinder our ability to do that and go forward with that.
Councilmember White put forward a motion to take 220 acres of Lapua Point out of proposed preservation, which is the agricultural portion of Lapua. The motion got seconded by Councilmember Pontanilla and passed with 5 yeas and 3 nays, stirring a controversy.
This particular area is it's been a huge controversy. You know, I understand you got to be beholden to your pensioners and what have you, but I believe there's other lands that you folks have out of your 33,000 acres that you can supply that with. So for me, this is definitely a huge mistake.
Honolua Bay is a highly important part for many, but to Council members White and Pontanilla, the main concern was with the pension plans of Maui Pine's 1,600 retirees.
This move isn't to simply say we don't want to preserve it, we want it to be developed. This move is simply focused on the fact that we have a responsibility to look at consequences of our action. The problem is they don't have the assets with which to fund their retirement system. And we're not going to fund it for them. But we certainly shouldn't be putting ourselves in a position of cutting the legs out from under the pensioners either.
Myself and some of the other council members felt that, if you have something in collateral for employees that are already retired, I surely don't want to take away that benefit from them. Yeah. 1,600 employees, that's a lot. Yeah. That's a lot.
But to some, the question is, when is enough enough?
We entitled them a lot of acres over in Haile Maile the other day, which boosted the value on that land. So Pulelehua got entitled, that boosted the value of that land. So I think my thing out of all the acres that they do have in possession, this simple 220 acres out of all those thousands, especially this 220 that is so, it's gone through a lot of discussion and people really have some heartfelt desire to protect.
Although retirees, pensioners was cited as a reason, nobody asked any kind of question about the direct connection between taking Lapua Point out of preservation and request like some type of guarantee that now, because they made the move to take Lapua Point out of preservation, is there going to be a guarantee that these pensioners will get their money indefinitely? Maui Land and Pine as a company has made plays for entitlements at Kapalua, Mauka, and Pulelehua, citing their employees, which they had at the time and they no longer have, that we need these entitlements, otherwise farming operations are going to have to be shut down. Now they have their entitlements for Kapalua, Mauka, and their entitlements for Pulelehua, but farming operations had shut down anyway.
It seems ultimately everyone is in favor of preservation. What is the stopping point? Councilmember White says if it was taken in preservation, the council would have to foot the bill, but they simply don't have the money. He places the ball in the court of the non-profit organizations that try to preserve Honolua to raise the money to buy it from Maui Land and Pine.
The energies really should be focused on going out and fulfilling the promise that was made back in 2007 that will provide $1 million and that will empower the groups that are interested in preserving it to go out and increase it tenfold. So I don't know how much money they've raised in the last 5 years, but that's where the focus and the efforts really should be.
Until that happens, Lapua Point is out of preservation. Wanda Moore, Akaku, Honolua Bay.